You know, um, I was reading a lot of history when I was growing up, and I still do actually. Uh, I remember that one of the first historical books I've read was the biography of Napoleon Bonaparte from Albert Manfred, a big hardcover book we had at home. I was always fascinated from the different eras, the wars, the passions, the backstabbing, the little anecdotes recording the life of great men. That is why Game of Thrones is so successful. It captures the essence of the historical narrative and gives it an extra fantasy flavor. But you can really tell it's heavily inspired from medieval and even ancient history. History was always a charming subject and it's easy to fall in love with it. But also it gives you a foundation of knowledge that you need if you are interested in other spheres of education. Spheres of education. You can be interested in literature or science or psychology, geography, but history encompasses all knowledge, embraces all disciplines. If you like reading Dostoevsky or James Joyce, history will tell you how they live, how they wrote, in what context. If you're aspiring scientist, you are already standing on the shoulders of giants of history, from James Clerk Maxwell to Heisenberg to Stephen Hawking. History is like the air we breathe, like the Heraclitus River is flowing and you can't step in the same era twice. It's time itself, trapped in the pages of a book or in the stones of the pyramid. That man that does not know history forever stays a child, will say the Roman Cicero. And it still rings true to this day. To understand the world, to touch the secrets of the human mind and his journey, you need to know his history. There is, by the way, a great video piece from Matt Walsh regarding history and the importance for young men to read it. My advice is to check it out. If I can find it, I'll post it down in the comment section. Mark Lydia writes that the most dangerous words in history are once upon a time. And coming from the Balkans, I can completely agree. Sometimes history can be used to disturb the passions of a nation, to justify murders and brutality, to start wars looking for casus belli. It is the fuel the collective needs to commit those unspeakable acts. But here again, the main problem lays with the reader, not the written. You can weaponize an idea. You can weaponize a long past golden age. Weaponize a god even, and take the power with bayonets. The problem is, you can't sit on them, as Talleyrand put it very correctly 200 years ago. History is humbling. It teaches us that we are not the Alpha and the Omega, that there was something greater than us and we can learn from it. We are what we are based on many factors, all rooted in history. A cruel slave trade is established in the 16th century, opening the Atlantic Highway from West Africa to the Caribbean, and the country of Haiti was formed in the process of centuries of historical fluctuation. A Wannsee conference was held looking for a Jewish final solution, and the State of Israel comes into being 6 years later to proudly take its place as an independent country, for the first time after the sack of Jerusalem in 70 AD. A book is compiled in the 4th century from Bishop Athanasius, and a heretic flesh burns in 15th century Toledo. Bulgakov writes that manuscripts don't burn. Nevertheless, sometimes they do burn, other times they are the inquisitor. It is important to read history to make a teacher out of it, in order to grow. The past is never dead. It's not just ruins waiting to be discovered or ancestors looking to be resurrected. The pre-Socratic philosophers did not write in fragments because they lived in ruins, like the old joke tells us. The historical process is one continued unraveling, a process of discovery and lost, a path of forgiveness and remembrance. We are because others were. The ancient Greeks marked the distinction between two types of time. Chronos is the measurable time. It's regulated by numbers and quantity. And Kairos is the time we fill with meaning, when time stands still. God's time. In order for history to be what it is, both are needed. Every time you read the great masters of words, history is invoked. Dante releases the spirit of Virgil as a guide in his Divine Comedy. Shakespeare goes back to Julius Caesar. The English kings, ancient Greece. Tolstoy pens the panorama of the Napoleonic Wars. The ghost of history is invoked, and our world is changed because of that. Every era dreams about the next, but it relives the past like a sacred play. We are all part of that play with different roles and destinies. The goal is always the same: to not make the same mistakes, to not repeat history. We should just let ourselves become wiser from the historical, but also be mindful not to fall victim to it. There is this Japanese term which I really like, mono no aware, or mono no aware, which roughly translates as sensitivity of things, that bittersweet impermanence of things. To understand history, we should embrace the fact that we are a fragile thing, like the leaf of a cherry blossom, and that's where the elucidation is hidden. We're just travelers, stepping on the sands of Chronos, dreaming about the future, waiting for our Kairos to write our own Historia. This was Dragons in House. I'm George Maximov. If you like this content, like, subscribe, leave a comment, stay cool, stay important. See you next time.